And good morning, John.
Hey, good
So
morning,
crazy
Craig.
night, huh?
How you doing?
A little tired.
I need another cup of coffee. I still got like bloodshot eyes. I wasn't even. Well, I had a glass of wine last night. I had some Trump wine last night,
Yeah.
and actually, that's probably what I should have as my background. But that's it. Just stayed up too late. Awful fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was up till like 3 and texting you, and you're an hour ahead of me, so
Yeah,
you had to be up till 4. And then
yeah,
we were texting at like 5:30 again.
yeah, yeah. I got a couple hours of sleep. America's running on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep tonight. Today. So. Be
Yep.
careful
So,
the type. Be careful of the typos in signing contracts today.
yeah, crazy thing is I got two commercial leases that want to go together this morning. So,
Nice.
yep,
Just make sure
the fear's
you
gone.
double check it. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, all these people had excuses that they were waiting for election results. So, what I'm curious on, were they just wanted it over with, so it's resolved, or are those people who wanted Kamala now not going to buy a house because she's not president?
They're moving to Canada.
That we're waiting for that too, right? Aren't there a bunch of Hollywood types that have announced they're leaving?
Yep, the
They
Jets
on
are lined
planes?
up in Hollywood.
They on planes yet? Yeah, I don't know. I just I just look at this like Janet and I were talking. It's like so we're really not crazy, are we? We've been talking about this stuff for a couple of decades. The
Yep.
lies, right? And the American people came out and voted.
Yeah. Yeah, and what is it? 20 million less votes than last election cycle?
Yeah, Biden didn't kick all those out yet, right? Those are legitimate votes that just somehow decided not to appear
Yeah.
this time. The most important election in human history,
Yep.
they didn't come out to vote.
I do think this is bigger than people realize. This is
Oh
not
yeah,
your typical election.
yeah.
Just kind of what he's talking about. So the immediate response on real estate. How do you think real estate's going to react?
Well, I do think it's going to help because I think this has been a very large cloud hanging over the country that needed to get uh, finalized. And so now, okay, we know what it's going to look like for the next 4 years. So I do think it will take some uncertainty out of that stuff. I don't know. It's listening to the financial media. I like to listen to CNBC occasionally just to drive myself bananas. But they keep talking about divided government is good for the investor world. Um, and then the Republicans take the House, the Senate, and the White House, and the Dow's up like 1,300 points before the market even opens. So, I'm not sure. And then they talk about Trump's plans are all inflationary and stuff like that. Trump isn't interested in creating inflation for the average Joe and Jane in America. But they have this concept, right? Remember, these are liars. These are highly paid liars. They get paid between $250,000 and 20, 30, $50 million a year to be able to pitch their lies. And so they're saying that, hey, inflation is going to be coming back because of Trump's policies. I don't know. We'll see. Inflation is clearly there. Concerned about the 10-year. Rates are going higher. Here's what will be interesting, Craig. There's comments about is the 10-year coming back because growth is expected to come back? And one of the things that Trump has talked about is we got to get GDP growth back consistently to be, between 3 and 4%, and start to try to grow ourselves out of this thing. So maybe growth is going to come back. Maybe it's just a normalizing of the 10-year note. Um, but the other thing is what if the risk, what the delta between the 10-year and where the mortgage rate is, what if that starts to come in?
Hmm.
Because there's room for that to come in. So
A,
you
a
could
lot of room.
potentially have rising 10-year bond rates and shrinking mortgage rates. No one's talking about that. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't have any insight on that. I'm just thinking there's a large premium there right now. And does that start to come out of the rate?
So if I understand it, the premium is there because the banks are nervous, right?
Yep.
So then the banks start getting more confidence. The economy's growing. That that spread can narrow,
Yep.
and then rates come down, even though the 10 years going up.
Right.
The 10-year may go up from inflationary because I think to break inflation they wanted to see the jobs market crash, and then the last report was kind of a bogus report.
Yep.
What was it, 200,000 some jobs or 100 some thousand jobs? And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they had to
A month
revise
ago, they
it
went to
down.
12. Yeah, went to 12,000. They blamed it on the hurricane and the Boeing strike.
Yeah, yeah. This
Meanwhile, I know
that.
a lot of 50-year-olds. A lot of 50-year-olds are out of work right now because they've been laid off.
Yep.
So, so I don't know. I was driving around this morning and getting some stuff done a little bit early because I woke up early. I wasn't ready to go back to work, so I'd haul some stuff off to the dump. But as I was driving, it's very humid here today. Even though I got a picture of Texas, but it's humid here in South Carolina. A little hazy. Sun's coming up. Reminded me
You
of
guys
driving
made me
through.
nervous last night on the count. Oh my God, why didn't
Oh
they call
yeah.
it
Oh
sooner?
yeah. Yeah. South Carolina. Yeah. Not quite. But it reminded me of being in California in the 90s. And one of the things I tell people is like a lot of the young kids today, they have no idea. The 90s were a great time to be alive and be in business. Yeah, Bill Clinton was president, and I tell people I think Bill Clinton was a pretty darn good president. Don't necessarily care for him morally, but it's the same thing with Donald Trump. He
Hmm.
was a good president for the economy. It was a good time to be an American, and maybe that starts to come back again. I feel a little bit of sense of optimism, and I think that Trump can bring that to the table. Kamala did not have that. That was whatever that was.
No,
That was not optimism.
no, no. So I think this is bigger than most people realize because if you get Elon going in there, DOGE style, right? Department
Yep.
of Government, what was it, efficiency?
Yep.
And he's talking, I don't know if Ron Paul's agreed, coming in there with him. They start blowing apart the waste in government.
Yep.
Holy cow, can you think
Yep.
of the efficiency they could create?
Yeah.
A lot of unemployment initially,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. One of the
what
areas
that
he
could
could
do.
probably look at, and he's not a military guy, but I guarantee he could figure out some efficiency stuff on the military spending.
Oh, yeah,
Trillion
everything.
dollars. I don't know. Was half of that waste? Maybe.
I don't know. The interest alone is dwarfs that military budget now.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's amazing.
So then they come in. I know they floated the idea of just blowing apart the income tax
Yeah.
with Ron Paul.
Yeah. I don't know if they
Okay,
can. I don't know. I don't know about. I mean, that's a great idea. I'd love to see that, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I don't know.
they'd have to make it up for in sales tax.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do that. The whole country's structured around the income tax. That is at the core. So I,
But I mean, those are the stuff that was floated. So if that
yeah.
stuff happens, then you get rid of the 100-year war industrial military industrial complex.
Yeah.
You know, if you clean out the Fed, you start going to sound money supply, getting rid of the income tax. I mean, they floated some big ideas. If they tackle half of that,
Yeah.
we're talking major, major changes. This isn't just, oh, Republicans have it for 4 years.
Right, and just there's so much fraud. Did I tell you? I remember the last time we talked. I was driving through Washington D.C. 3 weeks ago. I was in Eastern Pennsylvania and drove through Washington D.C. and it's big. I mean, I hadn't been there in a long time. The suburbs are huge. They're wealthy, beautiful buildings. A lot of people depend upon the federal government.
Yeah,
They're living off the teeth of the federal government.
yeah.
It's going to be a big change if indeed that happens.
Yeah, but then that frees up all that talent, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then you can start building things again. That was one of Elon's first tweets last night was, "We're a nation of builders. Let's start building."
right, right,
So
right.
then, let's say he goes in on efficiency, clears out regulations on development, housing regulations, the building codes, starts cleaning up those agencies that regulate all that.
Yeah,
Do we suddenly start building housing and start driving house prices down again?
right,
That's in the cards. Now, it's not going to happen this year, in
right,
2025.
right.
But the seeds could be planted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's going to be very exciting. Very exciting. And hopefully this is the end of the Barack Obama era. I mean, I'm hoping he just kind of goes away, hires a new chef, and we don't see the dude again. Just, just
that
see
one
ya.
just kind of disappeared.
Just have him go away. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been involved in this stuff now for 16 years. It's enough already. And hopefully the Democrat Party will say, look, we need new blood, new leadership. Hopefully they'll figure it out. I've heard some of the commentary a little bit this morning and last night. Clearly these guys don't have any idea. They don't have any idea what happened. No. They're clueless.
Yeah, that's the news media is in their own world.
Yeah.
The news media, I think, is done.
It's their own bubble.
Their own bubble.
Yeah.
They're in an echo chamber and they're shocked at the results. And if you're getting your news from the traditional media source, you might be shocked at these responses.
Yeah.
If you're getting your news from alternative sources, you saw it in the cards.
Right. Yeah, I think that they need to be shamed relentlessly. The media, just ongoing for the rest of eternity. Just beat them into the ground.
They were either in complete denial and in their own bubble, echo chamber, or they were committing fraud.
Yeah, propagandists.
Propagandists.
Yeah, paid propagandists. That's what they are. It's but it's changed. I mean, X alone is changing. X and Rumble and all these other different apps that are out there. They can't control it anymore.
Yep. Yeah, you can't put this genie back in the bottle.
No. What do you think Zelensky was thinking last night? And I heard, I don't know if it was true or not. Apparently, I heard Putin also said, yeah, it's probably time to come to a settlement on Ukraine and Russia. So let's get to the peace table. He's wanted to do that, by the way, but Biden has not wanted to do that. I mean, Zelensky or whoever's running it, Biden, Zelensky, all these guys, they just want to keep trying to keep the war going. And now it's going to be over.
War machine. It's a money making proposition. We've been at war for 100 years straight.
Yeah. It's going to be over.
I fell for it under Bush.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Same here. Me too.
I bought into the propaganda.
Yep. Go get all the jihadis.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things, Bannon's talking about that they need to now go through, and these guys are like dogs with a bone. They are not going to give this up. They are going to go back and investigate and adjudicate the 2022 or the 2020 election that was stolen. Let's prosecute. Let's put these guys in jail who did this. We have to clean it up. The other thing too, I'd like to see them do is do a RICO act and go after the machines in the blue cities. That needs to be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
There's
a lot that could start to unfold here. So this isn't this isn't your traditional election.
No. Did you see in Vegas, in Nevada, they passed a law where you have to have ID now going forward to vote? Yes. Can you imagine? That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. And California rejected the rent control.
Really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, let me see if I got it here.
Interesting.
Yeah, California voters not only rejected Prop 33 rent control expansion, but shot it down resounding fashion. 62% voting no.
Wow.
95% of vote in.
Wow.
That's a bipartisan alignment.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's good news for housing in California. Not that I, watch California housing, but.
Right.
Now the other question. Does the DOJ get their comeuppance now?
Well, I'm hoping so, right? I don't know if you've seen my stuff. Maybe you have, where I think the DOJ needs to be closed and open up the DOR, the Department of Retribution.
I did see that. That's awesome.
So that's my take. Just, hey, we're eliminating this whole function of government, close it down, and now we'll launch a new one. And none of you people who are in the DOJ are part of the DOR. DOR is a whole new crew.
Okay, I would like to nominate you for the head of the DOR. You and Bannon.
That would be absolutely fantastic. But that's coming, right? And of course, the left is freaking out, the whole term of retribution. And, and then the conservatives have fun with it. Like, no, we mean justice. Yes, we mean justice. Retribution. We need justice. That absolutely needs to happen. But I'm serious about it. I think the blue cities need to be broken. I think that those political machines need to be investigated and smashed, broken apart, eliminated.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
they're there
you
for.
wonder, like, you watched Minnesota count last night, and
Yeah,
all the counties were reporting in. Ramsey County, that's St. Paul, one of the
yeah,
highest populated counties, was not counted, was not reporting, not reporting. And then once the totals were coming up, then all of a sudden Ramsey started to count.
yeah,
So you're like, well, why did they wait so long? Were they
yeah,
waiting to know what they needed?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
is it
yeah.
rigged? Are the machines rigged? I mean, we got to dig into that.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I
absolutely. Go
think
in and
at
audit it.
least
Go in and audit the
50% of the
vote.
population doesn't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Minnesota just stuffed those ballots pretty aggressively. I would think.
Yeah, I mean, a
I mean,
Republican hasn't won Minnesota since 1972.
Trump lost by 3.5 points or something. It was
Yep,
supposed to be a lot closer than that.
yep,
I feel for you people in Minnesota. I mean, I'm glad I'm out of there. It's
yeah.
just, Soviet style.
And then Aaron had just texted before we jumped on, and he's saying South Dakota went even more conservative.
Awesome.
That's where he's at.
Okay.
He says this is a bigger victory than when Reagan swept.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that. I think in a way it's certainly comparable because you don't come back. I mean, they're saying, hey, well, Trump's doing what I forget who the president was in the late 1800s that came back after losing. But this was so
Teddy
overwhelming.
Roosevelt, right? Rough
No, it
Rider.
it was Grover Cleveland maybe, and but the whole world was against Trump on this stuff. I mean, literally every political, financial power was against him and pounding him for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice to be done with that. I mean, I know they're going to continue, but
Two assassination attempts, all the
yeah,
legal battles.
yeah,
Um, yeah, this is like a Hollywood story.
yeah,
What's going to be funny is in 20 years, Hollywood's going to do like this story on this
yeah,
after they
yeah.
get over their derangement syndrome.
It'll be somebody on AI that'll just figure it out. Won't even do it on Hollywood. They'll just write the script, right? Just throw all the stuff in the AI and have it write the script.
I've been
Um,
digging into that
but
AI. That's getting pretty crazy.
it is, but I think I think Trump is going to go down as a one of the most important top presidents of the United States, as a historical American figure and global figure of the likes of Washington and Lincoln.
I would agree if he accomplishes a lot of what has been floated out there.
Yeah,
That will be remain to be seen.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I think the population has given him a mandate, said do it. Let's see if he can get it done. That's a huge task to undertake.
It is, but if he can, I mean, there's a lot. The amazing thing is when you start to dig in this and you realize, and I kind of made the offhand comment about, everything revolves around the tax code. But the fact of the matter is everything does revolve around the tax code. I mean, all of it
Mm-hmm.
does. All of your economic behavior, whether
Yep.
you're conscious of it or not, but the way these companies run,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. I had made 2 trips to Pennsylvania in the month of October, one to the western side, south of Pittsburgh, about 50 miles, and then on the east side, over by Harrisburg and York and Lancaster. And you go through some of these older towns; they're devastated, Craig. I mean, this was the old mills, or the plants that pulled out that went to China over the last 20 or 30 years. These, still people living in these towns, just
Mm-hmm.
crappy houses, dilapidated, no money for improvements. Their lives suck,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been just laid to waste by
Yep.
the American leadership. And if somehow they can get this back, I mean, like Pennsylvania, I mean, a lot of great people up there. Obviously, when I went up there, by the way, it was about 50-1 Trump to Kamala signs that I saw. It was incredible. So many Trump signs, because I was driving through the countryside. I wasn't really going to the city. If I went into Pittsburgh, that would have been different. But incredible. So bring back some manufacturing and put these people to work.
Mm-hmm.
People want to find value. They don't want a check from the government.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, those are going to be big challenges to solve,
Yeah.
right? And it's easy to come up with an answer. You and I say, well, just bring manufacturing back, and that's got global consequences. And then we're battling the potential of AI going to take manufacturing anyhow.
Yeah.
You know, you got 3D printing, you got all sorts of machines, you got artificial intelligence, robotics, that are, there's going to be opportunities, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
we're going to be in rapid change, which makes it even more difficult.
Right. Right.
And
But think about
unfortunately, a
those
lot of
those
these people have fallen so far behind, it's going to be hard for them to catch up.
right. But think about if you're an able-bodied male and you're underemployed, but you're strong, you still have a good mind. If Trump could get open like the central part of the country and just open up lithium and oil drilling and natural gas, and these guys can go to work and start to carve all that stuff up and sell that around the planet.
So
Amazing.
McGregor, just about 50 miles west of Duluth, they discovered a huge mineral reserves, nickel.
Well, good
And
luck. I mean, it's unfortunate it's in the state of Minnesota.
Elon bought the rights.
Elon bought the rights. Good. So Elon can bury the state and the feds who will try to block him. He has more money than they do. That's awesome. That is awesome. You
Yeah,
know.
so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But I'm excited about it. The guys in the commercial real estate world are pretty excited as well. We fully expect bonus depreciation to come back. I'm going to do a
Hmm.
blog post on this soon. I'm going to make the pitch that I think it should be made permanent part of the tax code. Stop
Yep.
playing this little, hanky panky. We're going to do this for 5 years. We're going to put a diminished amount on it every year going forward after a few years. No, stop the nonsense. Make it
So
permanent. So guys,
politicians get more donations, right?
well, there's some of that, and so it could be a negotiation tool down the road if they need other things for leverage. Stop the nonsense. Just freaking put it into the law. It's now
Hmm.
permanent. Bonus depreciation, 100%. Let's roll.
Yep.
You know.
We're a
So
nation of builders. Let's start building.
exactly. And there was some other stuff I was thinking about on the tax. Like my head's too foggy this morning, not thinking clearly. I had some other tax ideas I want to run past you. So if I get those back on, we'll come back on another time and do a chat.
Okay.
Talk through some of the stuff to try to help impact real estate. Um, I mean, I like your concept. Did you have the one where you're saying, hey, if you're a real estate investor and you got a piece of property and it's a rental property and you sell it to a first time home buyer,
Hmm.
you don't have to pay capital gains. And I'd also say no recapture tax. Let's do
Yep.
no
None of the
cap gains, no
recapture.
recapture tax.
Yep.
Boom, boom,
Yep. I'm
and
cashing in a dozen properties right now. Boom.
yeah,
There's 12 extra houses.
yeah,
For,
and if you're freaked out about it, you're like, well, we can't give Craig Cameron a sweetheart cap gains deal. We're going to limit his ability to sell, 5 a year. Okay, all right. Well,
yep.
all right. You can do 5 a year, unlimited. So you just start knocking out 5 a year. Boom, 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 boom. You
Yep.
know.
Now you start moving that capital into other markets, into
Yeah,
multifamily, into commercial,
yeah,
into factories, into developing resources, farming, mining, logging, start building again.
right, right. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I really, I'm excited for the country again.
Hmm.
I'm excited for my kids. I was telling my 19-year-old this morning. I said, I'm very excited for you. It's been pretty grim. I was talking with another one of my kids, it's about 25, and she was talking about the young people her age, starting to vote a little more conservatively. I'm like, well, you're darn right. I mean, why would you support these baby boomers who sucked this country dry?
How old is
It's
she?
24, 25. It's
Okay,
like
so
just
18 to 29 were 55% Harris, 42% Trump.
what was it? What was it? 20.
55% of the 18 to
That's not
29 year
bad.
olds.
That's
No.
not bad. I mean, it could have been 80-20.
Here's our generation, Gen X. Oh, I'm sorry. I had that wrong. I had my microphone in the way. Okay, so let me see if I can just share this real quick. Share, present, share screen. There we go. Can you see that?
Harris Trump ages.
So,
Interesting. So Gen Z, millennials,
Gen X.
Yep.
Trump won because of our generation.
Yep. And then the older.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're dependent on that Social Security, so I bet you they got scared.
Right.
And we got nothing. Gen X has nothing.
Right, but it's interesting though. Didn't Trump say no tax on Social Security? That's what he's proposing, and he's proposing no income tax on tips and no income tax on overtime. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So interesting. A lot to digest here. So
Yeah.
we will see. The only thing I will say is Trump, I was a little disappointed with last because he spent so much money, but that money spending was mostly that COVID.
Yeah, that's where he got hammered. He just, I think he got, they did, if you remember, they kind of did the same thing with, was it Bush during the '08 crash, financial markets? The Wall Street guys came in and said, you need to do this huge spend or the whole planet's going to, implode. And so they just forced their hands on this stuff, and it's a matter of, you need to make a decision, Mr. President. We have 2 minutes to make the decision. It's tough, but you know what? I would agree. Very disappointed all that stuff happened. I'm sure he would say, "Hey, he saved the economy." But so now we have this.
I don't know if he had another decision at that point.
I don't know if he did either. But it'd be nice to see that deficit come down. Or if this is the way these guys are going to roll, let's get the growth back so they actually are getting more tax receipts, if that's what they're doing, to fund the government.
You either have to blow away the Fed, get rid of this monetary system altogether, or you have to outgrow that spending.
You got to outgrow
the economy.
They got to outgrow it. I mean, they can cut it. I think they can cut some. I don't know how much they can cut out of $2 trillion.
Yep.
But Elon seems to think there's $2 trillion to cut. I don't know if there is, but that would be great.
He did miracles at Twitter.
Yeah, it's, guy's amazing.
And Melee, he's doing phenomenal. Their
Who's that?
economy is taking off. Is it Melee?
Is he the?
Is it Venezuela?
Argentina?
No, Argentina.
Argentina. Yep.
Is he just went in there and just started cutting?
Is Argentina? Or is it Costa Rica? I don't remember. One of those guys, or El Salvador, maybe. Oh, maybe it's El Salvador. The guy's putting 60 or 70 or 80,000 drug cartel criminals in prison. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
I think it's El Salvador. He built these big prisons. It is brutal. Lights are on 24 hours a day. They're stacked up in when they sleep in bunk beds. They're 4 high, and it's a piece of metal. They aren't sleeping on a pad or anything. I mean, he's just went in and cleaned all this stuff up. It's incredible, and that needs to happen in America. I mean, there's stuff that needs to happen here.
Central America could just completely change overnight. Just allow investors from the U.S. to come in and then just protect their assets.
Yeah.
There would be so much money floating into that beautiful part of the world.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a vacation spot for all the retired people.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
But they'd have to clean up the crime and start putting in some infrastructure in and just protecting the investors.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I should probably get rolling here.
Back to work for me too. So
back to work, trying to get something done, but my phone keeps blowing up and I get phone calls and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but we'll see what happens.
Well, thanks for jumping on short.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. This was fantastic, man.
All right,
Appreciate
a good
it.
afternoon.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sean. All right, bye.